All right, Broncos country. If you were watching David and I last week, we told you that Davis Webb would be the play caller in 2026. And of course, we were right. 62-year-old Sean Payton has given over play calling duties to young Davis Webb, half his age at 31. It was definitely time. Davis had a lot of offers, Dave, and with full control. Like Sean didn't have a choice. It says a lot that he had that much faith and confidence to put that sort of faith into Davis Webb. Joining me on Mile High Monsters, as always, is my good friend David from David Talks Broncos, recovering from some weird cold thing, but he'll power through for you guys. Dave, how's it going, buddy? It's good to see you, man.
Dude, I'm doing great. I'm so pumped that we've reached the NFL Combine. Now the rumor mill is going to go crazy. Now we can start to speculate a little bit more hardcore in the draft. And yeah, now this is like when things get really fun. So this is a great time to do a show, man. Glad to be back at it with you.
Yeah, and we should talk about, we're going to get into the Combine because we've got some good stuff from there too. I think we need to talk about this Davis Webb thing just a little bit more since we didn't get a chance to yet. Now, Davis Webb, you know, he's kind of came up from the Cliff Kingsbury tree there at Texas, right? Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, yeah.
And so you're talking about an air raid system which fits Bo like really well, like the hurry up. You know, we were always trying to get him into hurry up, shotgun, spread them out, run the mesh, and run all that stuff. Like it just seems like a perfect fit. And of course, we don't know how it's going to go. We know that Sean Payton is a great play designer, but he certainly has frustrated us a little bit with his play calling, to say the least. David, you're excited about this. I'm assuming this is a big deal, right?
Yeah, and you know, I'm an optimist, but when you look at Davis Webb, the short run right now he's had as a position coach, for him to already be talked about, you know, getting allegedly offered, you know, the Raiders head coaching job. Ooh. His hype does feel kind of Sean McVay-esque now. He hasn't had the opportunity to call plays like Sean McVay did in Washington under Mike Shanahan. So now this is his opportunity, man. And it's so weird. Like I didn't have a huge issue with the play calling, like at the end of the day, like last year. Like there were some things that definitely annoyed me and some personnel issues that frustrated me. But I'm kind of been shocked to see like the blowback of Sean Payton giving up these play calling duties. And now it seems like everyone's like, this is a terrible decision. You have Super Bowl aspirations. One, you fans are disgusting. Some of y'all can never be happy. But I think that, again, I don't think Sean Payton would give this up without having trust in him to do it well. And he'll still be involved, it sounds like, on some level with calling plays in certain situations. But we led the league in 3 and outs. We led the league in punts. We won a ton of one-score games where it could have just been totally different had this offense come out and played more aggressively. And I think Sean's kind of hinted around it, is like, I'm becoming a more conservative play caller.
Right.
And I think we could benefit from maybe having a little bit more energy, youthfulness to start these games, just going out and scoring points, baby. Like he can always take it back, I guess, if it doesn't work out. But
for sure, and he will.
This is very Bill Parcellsian with I think with how he treated Sean himself.
Yeah, he'll definitely yank that chain if he needs to. I mean, Sean's not shy. He did say in an interview the other day he was, I forget what he was in the ER for, but he was in the hospital, and so he turned over play calling duties for one game, and the Saints won 62-7. So he said there's been signs that maybe he's a better play designer than he is a caller. But I know that I think he's had like 10 top 5 offenses over his career. But none with the Broncos. So, there's something to be said about that. I can tell you this, though, David. I found this the other day. In fact, I went and looked for us. The Broncos franchise record okay, for total offensive yards in a game is 568 yards total. 568. That is the franchise record. The one game that Davis Webb called was 562 yards, 6 yards less. I know it's preseason. I know, yes, but still found it interesting. It's pretty eye opening when you think about it. It's just a whole different style. Like, you can't tell me that offense would have done that kind of damage or that many yards. Sean just tends to get too cute sometimes, and I don't really see Davis doing that. I think a great fit. I think this is a dream come true for Bo. I know those guys are really close. I know there was talk out of Dove Valley that there was a little bit of, not angst. I mean, Sean and Bo have a really good relationship, but there was some frustration there. The late play calls, the ambivalence about what they were going to do, sometimes they would kind of chicken out, where Bo was like, come on, man, let's go. And then we had to wait till the end of the game before we got to see it. Hopefully there's going to be a little bit of a different show, maybe some fireworks perhaps.
Yeah. How about throwing downfield a little bit more, maybe if we're able to integrate that into the offense in the first quarter, we don't see maybe necessarily the volatility with, what we've seen with Bo and his accuracy and footwork, in some of these games. So I think that's going to be a real key to watch, is Bo more comfortable? Is he more settled in? Are we getting less volatility from quarter to quarter? Because, his highs are insanely high. Some of those quarters, we also look like an inoperable offense. And, it's pretty impressive. I think, we still had a top 15 offense in the NFL this year, even with the serious flaws with the roster and with how we were calling plays. So I think, truly, as long as we approach this offseason and do what we're about to say, there's no reason why we can't have a top 5 offense. That's how I see it.
That's the danger. Are we going to do, what we hope they're going to do, what we think they're going to do? Because word coming out of the combine is perhaps a little different when asked about like their key positions of need. And of course, this is smokescreen time, right? So you never know. But Peyton called out running back and inside linebacker. And we're going to talk about the inside linebacker position in a minute. But before we do that, at least it was nice for the Broncos brass to bring up the running back position, because certainly, as we said last week, that is, yours and mine, our number one priorities of rooms to fix. Has your mind changed on that at all? Or are you still running back room first, and then let's figure the rest of these weapons out?
I am so done talking and hoping that we're gonna finally find, like a guy with an all-pro talent level at this position. This is the Denver Broncos we're talking about. We got multiple Hall of Fame running backs in this organization have come through here. And our running game has been pitiful for like 15 years almost, it feels like, man. We haven't had a guy with serious talent back there that can be a workhorse since freaking Clinton Portis, since you wanted to, I still got a soft spot for Noshawn Moreno, but I think you can make a shot, a legitimate argument that we haven't had like a running back here for like multiple years that has been like as steady as Noshawn Moreno. And that's an issue. So
it is.
Stop saying that you can find running backs anywhere, or that they're not valuable, or that, you can get them in day 3, no problem. Maybe other franchises can. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers can just draft wide receivers like like nobody else's business, even though they got no quarterback. I don't understand it.
Well, it comes from the Shanahan era when we got spoiled.
Yeah.
Because he had a running game that you could plug and play just about anybody and get 1,100 yards rushing
Yeah.
out of them. And we think that that wasn't miraculous. It was miraculous that they were able to do that. And I can't remember the name of the old guy that was like the running game coordinator,
Joe
assistant
Gibbs
offense.
or Alex
Yeah,
Gibbs.
exactly. And like, so he could take an, Olandis Gary or what was the big guy? Mike
Anderson,
it just
Ruben
didn't matter. Yeah,
Drones.
Ruben Drone, just plug and play and anybody. But that's not the case anymore. And defenses have changed, and the Broncos have changed. This offensive line is a pretty good pass blocking line, but maybe, we're going to find out. They did hold a lot of meetings though, with running backs. So it looks like Jadarian Price was one of them. Washington, of course, what's his name? Coleman. So they are meeting with some of the right ones. They did meet with Emmett Johnson out of Nebraska. Have we talked about him? I think I'd like to leave him off of my list and put what's his name? Mike Washington.
How about
on that
that?
list.
It would be tough rooting for a Husker, but I'll do it. I'm not necessarily an Oregon Ducks fan. Shout out to Dak though. I just can't stand Dan Lanning, but I like a lot of Oregon guys on the team. I'll be honest about that. I think they're a good fit with what we're looking to do, but yeah, man, we need to continue to invest real assets into making this running back room legitimate and respectable. And I like year after year, like how many times did we just hope that this was going to be the year for Javonte Williams, right? Like how many summers did we hear dynasty fantasy podcasters talking about this is finally the year for Javonte? Dude, it never happened. And thankfully, he got his shot in Dallas and he's doing really well. But RJ Harvey, I think he showed that he can be a fantastic second back.
Yes.
Let's get somebody who's truly elite as the primary back, and then move forward with that. At pick 62 or whatever we got him, man, that's totally fine return for him to be a very, very good second option, third down, change of pace back. But we need somebody truly that can carry the load. And I was talking with my Jets fan friend today. He's like, I want all the solid guys out of there. So I actually would love the Jets to just let Breece Hall go. I would love for us to trade him, because he's a Robert Saleh guy. So George Payton won't do it. Sean Payton won't do it. But I would spend as much as a third-round pick on Breece Hall.
I would too.
We're not going to do it.
No, never say never. Speaking of Oregon players, Sadiq, he was interviewed at the Combine, specifically called out Bo Nix. He said he makes everyone better around him. They were there for a year together at Oregon, and he said he already knows how Bo thinks. He's selling himself to the Broncos, which I like. It's curious, but the tight end. I'll be surprised if we don't come out with a tight end. I think you said that Joe Royer out of Cincinnati or Eli Stowers out of Vanderbilt were both interviewed by the Broncos, are on the list. They're in my top 5. First of all, if the Broncos walk up there and Kenyon Sadiq is on the board and they take him, what are your thoughts on that? I guess it depends on what running backs are available at that time.
I mean, honestly, if Jadarian Price is there at 30, I will be upset that we pick a tight end over him. And depending on how this combine stuff goes, Jonah Coleman, baby. You could trade back and just pick Jonah Coleman or Jonah Coleman at 30. It's just hard for me right now to justify the first-round pick on Kenyon Sadiq. I'd get behind it, but again, we just haven't shown that we care to incorporate a tight end into our offense significantly. So I would rather spend it on a more prioritize
position.
A different position like running back. So I Eli Raridan from Notre Dame. He's my guy. We got a ton of people in the Eli Raridan gang. Let yourself known in the chat. This guy had ACL tears a few years ago, but he's been healthy since. This guy moves differently. I also like Jack Andrews from Texas, man, but I like his West Virginia film better than what we saw at Texas.
You're getting way down deep into the prospect list that I'm unable to do because, as you can see, I'm live from my mother's Dr. Carmelini studios today. I'm on the road, so I don't have all my stuff. So I'm going to depend on you for all those names. But I would be upset, David, if I'm being honest with you, man. First of all, I think Davis Webb is going to use the tight end position, but I don't know that he is.
Right.
Evan Ingram is still there. For our first pick, man, if Jadarian Price is there and we pass on him, if Jonah Coleman is available, in the second round, and we don't move back and grab him, this offseason, David, it sounds so familiar to last offseason. Running backs, inside linebackers. It's like the same positions over again.
We get a do-over.
Can we do this one right? Like, we could probably go back to last year's show right before the draft and just hit play and just change the names, because the positions are all the same. Like, nothing's changed. We're still looking for our running back. We're still looking for a wide receiver. We're still looking for a tight end.
Yeah, man. And I'll say this. We should take inside linebacker over tight end at pick 30. If that's what it comes down to.
I could get on board with that. I know the Broncos are let's see, they've pretty much talked to every top prospect for their meetings.
Good.
So Georgia, CJ Allen. I don't know what his fit is, but I know I've seen him in some mock drafts going to the Broncos at 30. So somebody thinks something of him. I don't know much about Ohio State's Sonny Styles or Rodriguez. Do you have any inside linebackers that you've been hearing about or keeping your eyes on?
A guy who's probably a little bit more raw than like CJ Allen or some of these other like older linebackers. I did a video on him yesterday. Anthony Hill Jr., man, from Texas. He could be a first-round pick.
Wow.
And he just moves differently athletically, man. Like, he's Alex Singleton, man. You gotta go. I gotta get this off my chest. We have seen certain publications. I love them all. We all have our guys, right? I mean, I was an A.T. Perry guy, but I'm able to let that go, man. Alex Singleton should not be our primary UDF or not
UDFA.
UFA, if I can talk. Our primary UFA target. That is asinine. That's ridiculous. The man's 33 and he already struggles with like being an athlete at this level. So no, it's time for you to go. BK is talking about it. You want to talk about generating more turnovers, like what Sean Payton talked about. Anthony Hill is your guy. I love Anthony Hill. CJ Allen could be that guy. Sure, Chris Rodriguez. Like, I think that he would be fantastic as well. There's a lot of different linebackers. Bryce Betcher from Oregon. He's a guy that I think is going to go a lot higher than currently, like, where he's ranked on like the PFF boards. But people say, well, we were a top 10 defense last year. Why would you want to change things? Guys, if we draft one of these high-end inside linebackers and Dre Greenlaw learns Spanish.
Right, yeah.
We're not talking about a top 10 defense. We're talking about having the best defense in the entire NFL. Shouldn't that be the standard for the group that we've put together right now? Shouldn't that be what we're striving to become, the best defense in the NFL?
Well, with the money we've spent on that side of the ball, yeah, we should be the best defense in the NFL, and why not improve, get younger at a position of need while you've got the chance. Now, I still think the Broncos would be best spent with some weapons first. running back room. They're not talking about the wide receiver room. And again, I don't think that's our worst room. I just think, a nice free agent to pop the top off of that room would be great.
Yeah.
But if we handle, let's say we do land our running back, David, in the first round, or we trade back maybe early second round, grab another pick, and then our second pick was an inside linebacker, I'd sleep well at night with those two right there. I'd have no problem with it.
Yes.
I mean, that's a position that Alex Singleton, I've always been more on the side of Alex than maybe I should have been. But again, like you said, man, he's 33. He's a free agent. Somebody's going to offer him a lot of money. We're going to have to overpay him to bring him back. I mean, bring Stroud back or Sternad back,
right?
And then draft somebody. I mean, don't put your money there. You could, with the money that you're going to pay for him, you could get the best running back available out there.
Oh my God! See, you're making so much sense. And Mike, if you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but our takes we had in training camp, we said, well, we got Dre Greenlaw here. Like Alex Singleton, man, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine next to Dre Greenlaw. Well, it was a huge issue because, and I thought this too, we can take Alex Singleton off the field. The problem is, well, with Dre Greenlaw only playing like 5 games, we couldn't take Alex Singleton off the field. But then, even when we got into crunch time down the stretch of the season, we were taking Dre Greenlaw off the field on passing downs to keep Alex Singleton in there, man. It made absolutely no sense. He has to go. He has to.
Well, it doesn't sound like he's going, David. It sounds like they want to bring him back. Now, would this will happen after the draft, I'm assuming. They'll let him test free agency. Maybe they're playing us. I don't know. It does seem odd to me that everyone under the sun recognizes where perhaps our biggest weakness on defense was last year. It was at the inside linebacker position.
No.
Now, it's weird to hear other teams talk about how much they would love to have Alex Singleton on their team. And the only reason they do that is because they look at box scores and they see total tackles and they don't understand that that's just that's not a great stat for inside linebacker. That's not a good stat to watch. I mean, when you see him unable to keep step for step with even a tight end, much less a running back out of the backfield, it's a problem. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I think
he's a great linebacker for the Cincinnati Bengals or some middling defense that just needs help,
a body.
But nothing will convince me more that he was a merchant of our defensive line when it came to his tackling numbers.
Some people would say that Cody Barton was the best linebacker we've seen in Denver for a number of years. So, I mean, we can hear all crazy talks you want. I'm sorry, but everybody's got an opinion. A show in town, some of the people on the hosts on that show do believe that Alex Singleton is the biggest need or priority signing back on. I think that's a little nutso. But those are my guys. They can be crazy if they want.
If you want Demario Davis,
you tune in here. You don't tune in over there if you want level-headed takes. Even if David wants to go off about Singleton a little bit.
Oh man, but okay. Like I titled my video like the new perfect offseason. Like the more I think about this, Mike. Well, obviously we need to try and address these positions like running back, linebacker, also in free agency because we need like 3 new linebackers and 3 new running backs, right, in this room.
Maybe
it's
insane.
3. It's we need 3.
3 running backs?
Yes, we need 3 running backs in addition to RJ Harvey.
We need do our keep running 4.
Back one. What?
Yeah. We do keep 4 on the Broncos, yeah.
Yes, and if I have to see Jaleel McLaughlin, there's like one guy that watches my videos all the time. Shout out to him. But he's like the only Jaleel McLaughlin fan like in my comments. But man, Jaleel McLaughlin ain't sniffing the roster for at least half of these NFL teams, man. Like,
no.
So yeah, you got to get like 6 total new players when it comes to just between running back and linebacker. So you sign them in free agency. But one thing, Mike, you're talking about, would you pick Kenyon Sadiq? Let's say the top running back is gone. Let's say CJ Allen and a couple of these linebackers are off the board, man. Personally, if we're going to have the best offseason of all time, I would just rather go with a plug and play like Mauler guard at pick 30 that, Respect My Coach brought this up on Twitter with me. Maybe he can kick out and play tackle later on. I don't know. But we need a plug and play upgrade over Ben Powers and Alex Palczewski over at left guard. Emmanuel Pregnon could be that guy from Oregon. Chase Basantis could be that guy.
You are an Oregon lover. You love every Oregon Duck available.
I know. I hate it.
Crazy.
I hate it.
That's how I know you're telling
a lot
the
of
truth.
NFL talent.
That's how I know you're telling the truth, because you hate to say it, but yeah, those players. Now at 30, you'll take a guard at 30
over Kenyon Sadiq. Yes.
Okay.
I think that is way more important to the team than tight end with how we use tight end.
If Jadarian Price is at 30 and your Oregon guard is at 30 and they take the guard and you come on this show and tell me how happy you are with that, I'm going to reach through the screen and choke you around your pretty little neck.
Well,
I will be so sad. I will be so sad if we skip over Jadarian Price.
Our top 3 positions we need to draft are in no particular order: offensive line, running back, and inside linebacker. Now, some might say wide receiver. I still need to watch more of these wide receivers to be totally sold on, like, these guys can step in and be a difference maker in this room immediately.
I like this comment from Logan. Singleton ranked 97th out of 98 in coverage. We can't get better than that. I will take you at your word, Logan, because it's actually believable. Now, I know there's more to it. I know some of it's defense, but it does seem like you can see that play coming a mile away, and Singleton he's just too slow to react. He doesn't have the foot speed to get there. God love him though. I do love him. I just don't want to pay him.
Dude, I mean, he's a try-hard guy, man. It's a try-hard. He's a try-hard guy, but the standard is different now. Like, we need dogs at every single position. Like, we're going for a Super Bowl, man. So Troutman.
Draft would be a great way to do it, Dave, because we've spent enough money on that side of the field, and let's draft guys, not spend $8,000 on $8 million on a guy. And I don't even know if the number is $8 million. I'm just throwing it out there, but can you like a 3-year? Can you imagine this guy signing a 3-year, $40 million contract with an out after the second, and you still end up with him there making $8 million per, when you could send a third to the Jets for Breece Hall and pay him. I don't care what you pay him. I mean, I don't know. Wait a minute. I want to go back to that. I loaded Singleton's luggage a day or two ago. He was on his way to Burbank. Okay. Well, that's good info. Let's see. This is where you turn in, folks, because our listeners have all the inside stuff.
Mike's a UCLA guy. We could. I don't know anybody on UCLA right now, but
yeah, we should. Mike, we should have had. We'd need Markey or Kodiak or one of our nerds, Zach, Nick, somebody on to get down in the weeds like that. Receipts, offense, keep Strnad. So what's Strnad's going to be cheaper. Knows the defense. I would be fine with that. So yeah, nobody knows any UCLA guys. Yeah, Mike's all like, isn't he?
I think they had like Deshaun Foster as their coach or something. Then he got fired. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Dave. What? So what did you hear? Now I'm assuming you watched Sean and George give their little speech. Did you take anything away from that? A lot of it was, he was asked about the play calling stuff. We got the the usual, we're happy with this room, happy with that room. But was there anything to glean from that, or anything that stood out to you at all? I I'm just so used to them now that nothing they say, if you go 3 months in the future, will have come true. So I was just curious of your thoughts. Again, we haven't caught up in
Nah,
a minute.
it was kind of a snooze fest outside of a few lines from Sean Payton. But I'll say this again: if Sean Payton's firing his like good friends and like demoting himself from play calling because he feels like this team can be better. I would like to think that he would throw George Payton through a wall if he tries to re-sign Alex Singleton on a multi-year contract.
He's going to.
Like, dude, that would just be insane. So, I mean, Sean Payton knows ball. He's not blinded by this. Well, maybe because he keeps playing Adam Troutman, but stop saying in the chat it's going to happen. We cannot allow this to happen. We cannot bring back Sternod. He's perfect. He's insurance. And then when you draft somebody like CJ Allen or whatever, can take over pretty quickly. We know Dre Greenlaw won't be playing a full 17-game slate.
Don't jinx it. He's playing them all this year. Stop that. Negative Nancy. He's gonna play them all. He's gonna habla español, and he's gonna be in the thick of it. Don't put that hex on him. But I'd be happy with Sternod coming back. He's not going to cost a lot of money, so let's bring him back. And it sounds like the wide receiver room is kind of falling out of favor. There's not a lot of talk about that. I would still keep an eye on that room. I
would still like to add a guy, but it just seems like adding an alpha. It's just not possible.
It's getting tough. Maybe they find one in the draft. You never know.
There are some guys we can take some shots on. That'd be cool with. I just don't think if you're expecting them to be year one alpha, I don't think that'd be.
No,
possible.
That doesn't happen. I think the bigger thing, honestly, the offense is with Davis Webb becoming the play caller. It's just the running back room and another capable pass catching tight end, and I'd be happy coming out of that draft with that, because if Webb incorporates a little bit of that air raid mentality, we've always been saying how Bo needs more time up at the line than he was getting with Sean Payton, giving him like 8 seconds to get up there, and took him forever to call the plays because he's making a decision. And I don't know if anybody's talked about this, David. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Like Sean Payton and his game management, it should improve, because he doesn't have his face buried in his, in the play call sheet, and he can pay attention and think more about, hey, what do we need to do here? How much time is left? If we get a stop, then we can go back and score before this. Should we use a timeout now? Now is a good time to challenge. He's going to have time to have all these conversations and go bitch at VJ for whatever he's doing, because he's got to square him away, which there's obviously them chasing down Zimmer for a senior position on the team. Are you familiar with this story? Do you know who Mike Zimmer is?
Yeah, I know who Mike Zimmer is.
Okay, so are you aware that the Broncos are like trying to bring him on board in a senior position on the team?
I mean, it's cool. I don't really.
I'm just saying
those guys don't make much of a difference.
I'm just saying it says something about what Sean's thinking. Like maybe another set of eyes might not hurt, because guys, you all watch the games. These late season swoons on our defense, can't happen when you're trying to shoot your way up for a Super Bowl appearance again, especially after the year we had last year. We're going to need the defense to, I don't know, not let people score 30 points on us all the time when they want. There's stuff going on, man. I think this is probably one of the most fun off seasons since we now that we have solidified franchise quarterback. We're not talking about his footwork anymore and the stupid crap we were talking about with Bo Nix. His 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 resume is right there for us to see. 2 years of just really good play, especially when we need it. Now it's like, what are we going to end up getting him? For Christmas, are we going to get him? Is he going to unwrap a Alex Singleton surprise Christmas present, or is he going to give himself a real running game and perhaps a good pass catching tight end? We're going to see. Chat. This is the one I was looking for. Our wide receiver room sucks. The one thing I like about BK in here in every show is he always has takes.
That yes, he does.
He does. I don't think our wide receiver room sucks, BK. But maybe I'm the only one on the show that doesn't think that. I think
it's not sexy, man. But hey, imagine if we use some of these guys like in ways in which it brings to light their strengths. Marvin Mims, Pat Bryant, if he wears the Guardian cap now and can finish games,
those things look so funny, especially on smaller wide receivers. They look like bobblehead dolls or something running down the field. They look a little crazy. Garrett Wilson was the talk last year. I don't know.
I mean, you got to hope that maybe Jalen Waddle is still available. But,
Waddle would still be cool.
Yeah. Again, I know I'm in the minority on this. If you're not going to be able to get one of those guys, I will sign Mike Evans. I will take a flyer on Mike Evans. That guy is still darn good at football, and he's 6'5". So, yeah, take a flyer on Mike Evans. That would be awesome.
Yeah, speaking of old, he is old, but he's got great hands. He somehow manages to make all the catches when needed. But I still think, going back to BK's comment about the wide receiver room sucks. To me, it's not that it sucks. It's that it lacks a true number one wide receiver, and then everybody else moves down that list and becomes a number 2, 3, 4 instead of a 1, 2, 3. So we can beat that to death. Here's one from Logan. He was amazed all year, 3rd and long. They leave Singleton on the field. Kind of crazy, right? Like what? Like a dime defense? It seemed like David, opposing teams converted a lot of those plays on us. Like, well, there's no way we've got them now. 3rd and 15. It's either going to be a sack or a throwaway, and then they would miraculously the stupidest play would somehow get a first down. Or
there were 2 liabilities on this good defense, this great defense we had. It was Riley Moss and Alex Singleton. Now Riley made up for it at times, right? But that
are we gonna bash both Riley and Singleton on the same show, or are we gonna? Because we can. Yeah. David, you've got some stuff.
We get rid of all the white guys on our defense. We win a Super Bowl.
You don't want to crack her back.
No, I mean, I love him, but if he gets us an elite wide receiver, you do that every single time. That's what I would be interested in doing. And it was interesting hearing George Paton. The other thing that aside from that snooze fest, the one thing that I thought was interesting is that he's like, yeah, I'm expecting teams to call on Jaquan McMillan. He wouldn't be the guy that I would trade out of this room. But I guess, if it happens and he helps us get a weapon, I'm cool with that. I just don't know what teams would trade for Jaquan for. Just a guy that, I don't think he's like Chris Harris Jr. to where he's got the ability to then kick outside after being dominant in the slot. I just think he's too small.
I just worry about Jahdae Barron, having not seen enough of him. I don't mind Riley Moss going and then putting Jahdae Barron over there. I'd be fine with that. But Jaquan can stay. I want him back. I'm just a huge fan of his. He made some huge plays for us this year and came through. In fact, I'm sure we all remember his last one. But if I had to choose between those two, I would keep Jaquan. NS Kelly wants to know if they convert Miners or McGlinchey to get more convert redo their contracts, you mean?
Yeah, it's just
They'll make some moves to increase. We're doing pretty good on cap space already. I think Powers will go. But then if they do Powers and they sign Singleton back, this is going to kill you. It will eat up all the savings you just got from Powers go. So
yeah,
like you just did not make your team better with that move. Like
yeah,
it's
it's
like
gonna be
making a
interesting to
move that
see.
doesn't improve your team bothers me.
Yeah, I think it's time for us to move on from Powers, but again, it just does open up, a question mark. Can we find a guy that will be better than him? I think we can. But it's either going to come from somebody like Nick Gargiulo, Alex Palczewski, or a guy that we draft high. Or maybe Ben Powers takes a huge pay cut to come back and compete for a starting job.
With Pouch,
I don't know.
well, he's coming off that it's either an elbow or a pec or something. So, his stock might be down a little bit. You never know. Free agency people get crazy. If we cut him with the chance to bring him back, I don't know. Let's see. Big E says first of all, Martin says he doesn't care what Pat wears to keep his head safe as long as he stays healthy. No doubt, because if he can stay healthy,
yeah,
he's a maker. He would take Mike Evans to upgrade the wide receiver room. I think it upgrades your room, but I still don't think it gives us a true, number one. Apparently you do.
Yeah, because he catches the ball.
We do have a problem.
Yeah, and hopefully our new wide receivers coach teaches these guys how to do that. But Mike Evans can catch the ball. Again, I'm not saying this should be, plan A, right? But when you get to plan, G, yeah, Mike Evans for a 1-year deal doesn't sound too bad. And maybe you're able to draft Omar Cooper too, and then things totally change. But
that's true.
Again, how many snaps did we see Lil Jordan Humphrey play down the stretch? It was unacceptable. Unacceptable. You're telling me you wouldn't rather have Court in that role or freaking Mike Evans out there like doing that? So
when you could have had A.T. Perry.
Again, dude, oh my God, we might have won the Super Bowl if we had A.T. Perry.
I like this one right here from D3. Watching the defense highlights for the season, none included Singleton. Well, it should have been that forced fumble against Buffalo, right? Would have been one.
Yeah,
it was a good hit. He had one good play.
Every squirrel gets his nut. It just takes some longer than others.
Respect my co's. Singleton made a crazy play versus Washington, and that's about it.
I don't remember that. I remember Dre Greenlaw's interception. Remember that one.
Yeah, we. I think we all agree we need to get somebody. My guy Brett Hilber's team stacked with wide receiver twos. Yeah, we are stacked with wide receiver twos, Brett. No joke. You could even argue we're stacked with wide receiver threes. I don't know, man. I'm a little sad that there's not still more talk about the wide receiver room, but again, until they fix the running back room,
I think you get a real running game, and you get some tight ends with the ability to block and be at least somewhat of a respectable threat downfield. I think that changes this offense significantly, and I think it helps the wide receivers as well.
Well, I'm not normally a betting man, but if you were a betting man, David, I'm assuming you would use Kalshi to make your bets. Do they have like draft bets and who's going to go where or have you looked at any of that stuff?
No, I haven't. I'm sure they will, and those things will pop up like, Denver's first pick, Raiders first pick, all that. Right now, again, the only thing that I know is that you can still get great odds, Broncos 4% to win the Super Bowl before we start winning free agency. before we sign either Breece Hall or Tyler Algier or Travis Etienne, we go and get another inside linebacker that's just an upgrade. Even Leo Chenal, man. I would love Leo Chenal here. I would love Nakobe Dean. And then we start getting our guys in the draft. It's going to be game over, man. Like, we're going to get the weapons. We're going to get some tight ends. I mean, we were a broken ankle away from going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, with guys like Adam Troutman on the field all the time. Like, and now we got $30 million to spend.
Oh yeah, at least. You know, especially with Singleton coming back, Super Bowl favorites. Yeah, I'm gonna get on Kalshi. Already signed up. I used your code, got the $10 bonus. So I had a lot of fun with prop bets and some fun stuff, and then I actually took a little time to pay attention to what I was doing, and I am up. So if an idiot like me can win money on, I'm just saying, guys, check it out. It's a pretty cool way to do it.
Yes.
Here's Vic's always good to see Vic in the chat. Algier Dobbins RJ combo, a possibility. Not opposed to it. Bringing Dobbins back with somebody like Algier or ETN. David, what do you say to Vic? What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I would love it. I think it might have been the Orange and Blue today I was listening to. Might have been somebody else, but I don't know, man. It seems like it's cooled a little bit on JK returning. Seems like that has cooled a little bit in terms of expecting the Broncos to try, to make a pitch. We'll see, man.
I thought George said that they did want him back, but I think they say that about everybody. But George Payton did say that they wanted JK back on the team next year. I expect it'll be later in the summer when JK will sign with somebody. He's going to have some workouts. He's going to have to show that he's healthy. But again, he was just so good when he was healthy, but we can't depend on him without another comparable running back to bring back. Mike says, no, don't touch McClinchy again.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to restructure his contract again. No. Because, again, this is why offensive line, we need to draft at least 2 offensive linemen this year. This might be the last good year out of McGlinchey we might get at right tackle. We'll have to see.
And when was the last time we drafted a tackle? Was it
Garrett Bowles?
Garrett Bowles in 2017 or something? I don't remember exactly when we took him. I'm guessing it was somewhere around there. It's funny because I hate those picks, but we need them. And if somebody falls to us and we have to do it, it's probably the right thing to do, right? Like to build from the inside out, defensive line, offensive line, make sure you're covered there. And then, but just with the guys that we have, maybe that window open kind of thing. I'm just right now, just give me a weapon running back out of the draft right now. Yeah, we've been burned taking risk. BK, I didn't even look to see who it was. It's BK again. He's kind of killing the chat. We've been burned on taking risk on injured players.
I'll still take risk on injured players. I don't care. I'll these tight ends. Dude, I'll still take risk on them.
The Cowboys are releasing Logan Wilson. There's probably a good reason for that.
Dude, this guy got cut from the Bengals and Cowboys.
Here's one that's Mike. Can't believe we went into the draft with Jaleel, Estime, and Bidet, and only left the draft adding RJ. Yeah, that was weird, especially the way the draft fell for us, man. You remember last year, David? The draft fell really well for us, and we just never took one until RJ late in the second. I thought they were setting up for. Oh my gosh!
Imagine if we took Quinshaw Judkins there at 20, man, where we would be.
We would have had a running game, and it would have been lovely.
Dude, and even he was the best running back in last year's class.
And that's a great point because you never know who the great running back's going to be out of the class.
Yeah. People say, oh, man, you could come in second. The guy was better than Omari and Hampton. He's better than all of them. He's better than Ashton Genty. So that's why Jonah Coleman should be an option at 30.
You take Coleman at 30?
Yeah, especially if Price is out there, is not out there.
You really take three. I think they take 3 running backs in the first round this year.
I think we're seeing a little bit of a swing to where people are understanding, like imagine a running back. It's actually an important part of like helping your entire offense go. I don't know where this whole thing came from of like, these guys suck. They're a dime a dozen. Never use a first round pick on them, especially with, the fact that, you're not giving them 30 carries a game anymore. These guys can play into second contracts.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I hate hearing. Oh, you're only getting them for 4 years. Shut up.
You really had such an attitude tonight.
I know, dude. We got people on here saying no to Mike Evans and yes to Alex Singleton. What world are we living in right now?
I don't know. Last year, though, that I was saying on this comment that Estime would be the one that was gone, and I was told I was crazy, and Estime was the one that was gone. Remember, because didn't he get benched for a bidet?
Maybe we need to fire our running backs coach. That was
I said that last year.
Done. Yeah, because Audric seemed to be doing just fine in New Orleans.
I said that last year, and
you like Scadaboo?
I think Andrew Mace told me I was crazy because of how respected he was in the building, and I'm like, oh, great, then do something better. But just because you respect him doesn't mean he's doing a good job. There's my weekly Scadaboo chat. Thanks, Vic. Appreciate that. Anthony Hill 459. Okay,
dude.
There you go.
Athletes. Yeah, and you know what? Linebacker is important, just like running back is. Okay. Now maybe you don't make those guys the highest paid players on your team. I understand that. You still draft them with pick 30.
What do you think Singleton's 40 would be? 4.5 minutes. No.
Oh man,
it would not be good. Here's the stuff that drives me crazy. 43.5-inch vertical for Sonny Styles. Like, I just want to know if this guy can play football. I don't care what his vertical is.
I don't know. He's pretty good for Ohio State.
Yeah, like if he's a player, great. But like if they said his vertical was 42 or if it was 45, that wouldn't move the needle for me. I don't know. I leave that to you guys. Little bashing on Jaleel. String comes in, says he agrees with David. It's not attitude, if you're correct. I've been advocating for a top RB1 for years. We all have. It needs to happen. And look, man, if David didn't get emotional or fired up about something on this show, I would be shocked because he just always does. David,
I got an opinion, man. I got an opinion.
Yeah.
And I never have had a bad opinion, right? But
I haven't heard one.
Yeah, right. It's just Sean Payton doesn't understand. Doesn't understand we got A.T. Perry. Doesn't understand we got Donald Parham on the practice squad that should be getting, snaps over Adam Troutman. It's okay.
He does have his guys, doesn't he? Like, it's crazy how and maybe with the Davis Webb thing, we're seeing some cracks in that armor. I mean, let's be honest. Sean Payton's a great football coach, head coach. We're lucky to have him, but that doesn't mean he's perfect, and it doesn't mean we can't criticize some things. And one of the things that he does that drives me crazy is he's a little too loyal to his old vets.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm still waiting for the Taysom Hill signing.
Honestly,
I'm on board with that one. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So you're on board. I'm on board with that one. But yeah, I mean, he loves his guys. So, we'll see.
Man, what was I going to say? Oh, I'm glad that, we can nitpick our head coach, man, because for years it was like, well, Vance Joseph in over his head. Vic Fangio was never really that interested, right? He wore jeans to his interview. What an asshole. Nate Hackett worrying about hiding the stiffy in his pants and hugging players and being good friends with them instead of, actually coaching football. I mean, we're finally here. We got a real football coach. And it's nice to just say, you know what? I don't like the personnel packages you use. That's great.
Pip wants to know, Pip's got a question about pass rushers. There was talk about Ellis would be trade bait, and he's not what we think he is. Even Pip knows that that's crazy, don't you, Pip?
I think if there's one guy you trade,
yeah.
it's Dondrea Tillman. Because I like what we've seen from Q Robinson. And so you kind of got Q Robinson and Nick Benito is kind of like those more bendy, freakish pass rushers off the edge. And then Coop and Jonah Ellis, they can also play the run a little bit harder as well. So I like that I think Dondrea Tillman could be used as a trade bait, and he'll be signed to, $1 million tender this year, and he'll be back. So
I think he should be back. We differ on that one. I want Tillman back. But then I want JFM back too. So, if it wasn't for Tillman, we wouldn't have any multiple interceptions on the season for a long time. So thank God for him.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Wow. Yeah, we should be able to get maybe a wide receiver for him with Riley Moss, right?
Well, we can scenario the hell out of it. Atkins, Troutman, and Kroll, literally the same dudes. What a waste of roster spots. Gosh, man, you guys are. I was in such a good mood before I came on the show.
Man, we hate these guys. Let's go.
We don't hate these guys. We just don't want them on our team.
On the field.
We don't want them on our team. The Kroll experiment should be over. Troutman should be over. Adkins, I could care less. His H-back role, but you can't replace everybody in one season. We got to see what direction they go, David. When does this tampering start? Like a week from now? We're going to get is legal tampering period starts in like a week. Are you going to be shocked if the Broncos don't make one splash move, or are you just going to be like, yeah, I didn't figure they would? Where are you at with that? Kopi on the side.
I would say I'm at like 80%, man. They're going to make a great signing that we're all just pumped about.
Get fired up about?
Yes. But there is a thought in the back of my head that, okay, if ETN goes somewhere and these other guys are tagged at the running back position, so you can't go after them, there's like 4 running backs left available that it's like you're upgrading your room, no doubt, signing them. If it's that shallow, man, we might miss out on some of these guys, and it might drive me insane.
It might. Now, you watched Orange and Blue. So did Cecil have any updates on Gronkowski?
No, I wish he did. Man, that was an all-timer. That was just like Mark Schler is saying Aaron Rodgers was a Bronco on draft day. Remember that?
Yeah. That was the cruelest, most iced response to the Gronkowski thing that I've saved it all this time. And thanks to Respect My Cause, I got to whip that one out again. I mean, just like the most ridiculous non-story. And I think he blocked me for making fun of him on the show after that. And because of that. So I have no guilt in doing that.
Oh, man.
T. Fishes, David, what was Adkins' ranking in the run blocking?
I don't know.
I mean,
it's better than some of the other guys, but man, it's still just another guy. Sorry.
We do just have some guys on offense. That's what it is. If you want to pare this show down as the last thing we talk about, or just say It is that there are just a bunch of guys on offense.
Yeah, and we're
Like,
the only team like left in that Final Four, man, that didn't have a serious run game.
yeah, yeah, or just that one star player. You know, I mean, we got the quarterback, but like, who is the one? Like, who's our star that the other
Bo
team
Nix?
has to game? No, I said other than the quarterback. Like, who do they have to game plan against on our offense?
Well, I
Nobody.
don't know. Who did freaking New England have? They didn't have
Stephon
anybody
Diggs
either.
or something.
Stephon Diggs, okay. I
Well, at
don't
least they
know.
had somebody.
You go look at his numbers. I think he was pretty similar to Cortland Sutton.
They're very different players. You can't tell me Cortland Sutton and Stephon Diggs are the same type of player. Same caliber player, maybe, but not the same type of player. I don't know, man. I mean, like, all these comments, guys, you're all saying the same stuff. Like let's get rid of this. We're just gonna get rid of everybody and call it quits. David, what do you have anything in that noggin of yours to end this stream on a positive note? Like, something good is going to happen. Is it that we're going to end up with a brand new shiny running back room this season? 90% sure we're going to have a good running back room, or
I'm not no. I'm like at 60%.
Oh God.
What I'll say. I don't know. Maybe it's just where the moon is today, where I'm just more nervous. Who knows? But I will tell you this: when we sign another inside linebacker in free agency here in a week and a half, I am throwing a celebration stream, and we're going to celebrate having a new athletic RAS score 10 guy, Leo Chenal, in here with Dre Greenlaw and a future draft pick manning this room. And then we will also celebrate the departure of Alex Singleton for real. That's what we're going to be doing.
Has he blocked you on Twitter like Sean Payton?
Oh, dude, honestly, I don't really follow the players on
I don't either.
on, like, the platform. No, I don't care. No. I just care about getting my message to Sean Payton, and apparently, he was done with it.
I text him. I let him know, like, sometimes what you say, and he knows that he's letting you suffer a little bit longer. He just wants to teach you a lesson, and he wanted to teach A.T. Perry a lesson. So
that's right. And if we sign Logan Wilson, we might as well bring back Alex Singleton. I'll say it like that, but we should not sternot over those guys. Sorry for cutting you off.
Are you reading comments? Because again, as always, I couldn't keep up with them. Let's hear this. Pat Wilson. You should hear Henry from DNVR take today. Worst take I've ever heard, saying Singleton is better than Devin Lloyd, and Sternad could easily be making 15 to 7. He didn't say that.
Dude, there's no way.
There's no way he said those words out loud.
There's no way. These guys cover the team, man.
No, there's no way he said that. Come on, Henry didn't say that, guys.
There's no way.
Chat, awesome as always. The viewer count, awesome as always. This is my favorite show of the week. David is my favorite guy of the week. David, get better. It's great to see you. I'm going to get you out of here. I'm on the road. As you can see, I'm not in the Carmelini Ranch studios. I'm here at the Dr. Carmelini studios. So we're going to cut out. David, any last words at all? You good to go?
Guys, please subscribe. Hit that bell for notification for when I drop, because sometimes I drop pre-record videos. Sorry. Ooh.
He's sick.
Other times I go live, man. So come on. Hit the bell, man. We're on our way to 1,000 here before free agency. That's the goal.
David gets David's just a rising star, guys. And don't forget, he's got a Buffs channel too. David Talks Buffs. So make sure you check him out. Next week, we will have a guest on, I promise you. And he's cute. David's cute, I just heard. All right. That from Mrs. Carmelini. So, and that's a compliment because she's a freaking knockout. So good on you, Dave, I guess. We will see you guys.
It's about to get weird. All right.
It's about to get weird. I will see all of you again in a few days. David, we'll see you about every 5 minutes. He streams every 5 minutes. Go Broncos. We'll see you next